Hey, cinema aficionados, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about PowerBook 4 Force. PowerBook 4 Force is a story about a drug dealer named Tommy Egan. At the beginning of the series, he has just relocated from New York to Chicago, where he attempts to unite all the various criminal enterprises that run pretty much all the cocaine through the city. There are African American, Hasidic Jewish American, Hispanic American, and Irish American factions at play. And in his attempts to bring peace and get them all working together, things don't go exactly as planned. This is mostly because every character seems to be a dishonest, greedy, murdering psychopath. But they're really fun to watch, and they really know a lot about illegal supply chain management. When PowerBook 4 Force premiered on February 6, 2022, it was the most viewed premiere ever in Starz history, with 3.3 million multi-platform views. The next season, season 2, debuts on September 1st. The excitement seems to be just as great, if not greater, for this one. All the action takes place within pretty much the city of Chicago, which makes a dazzling backdrop. And it also makes us lucky because today we're sitting down with the location manager for PowerBook 4 Force, Mr. Ben Miner. Ben, thanks for joining us. And where are you right now? Are you in Chicago?
Yeah. I'm at my work studio here, West Town, Chicago. It's on the hat. Yeah.
Hey, there we go. All right. So
Yeah.
you're right within the heart of the show as well. Now we're going to talk about your contribution. But first things first, season 2, how did you feel? In what ways, when you read the script for season 2, were you surprised and delighted?
Yeah. I was not so familiar with the PowerBook world. And I started watching the first season and was really excited to see how they expanded the worlds that Tommy is at play with. A lot of what I think is really great about Chicago are the neighborhoods, and they leaned a lot into kind of the dynamics that are already existing in the city. And we explored, the different cultures, the different neighborhoods. There's some new characters that are coming from kind of like the little village Pilsen area. That's a community that supports itself daily on the 26th Street. So it was really exciting to see them kind of see Chicago and really showcase it and kind of make it a character for what we're looking to do and how we put it together.
The end of season 1, there's pretty much a battle royale, and not all the characters are left standing. Those who survive seem to be pretty much hell-bent on revenge. So moving forward in season 2, how much of the plot is focused on these characters' quest for vengeance, and how do you think viewers will respond when they learn who, as I say on the show, when they learn who's going to get got?
Obviously, that's what everyone's tuning in for season 2, trying to figure out what's going on. Tommy has a reputation of taking down everybody in his way. And, definitely everyone will have to kind of tune in to kind of find out who, what, when, where, and who survives and who sees the end of season 2. So
Tommy also has a nephew, DMACC. If you haven't seen season 1 yet, these are kind of spoilers. Long lost nephew. Yeah. Kind of almost a Charles Dickens sort of a plot twist. Anyway,
Sure.
He's like everyone's little brother. Are we going to see more of him in season 2?
Yeah, absolutely. I think DMACC is hard to look away from. He's young. He's coming up into the city of Chicago. I think it's very emblematic of how teenagers are coming up in the city themselves. So I think we're all really excited to see what DMACC does this season for sure.
Excellent. And then there's also the glowing wonder drug Dahlia. Is that going to make an appearance at all in season 2? Are you allowed to tell me? I know certain things.
Oh, Dahlia. Oh, yeah. No, that's one of those things that they asked us to kind of keep under wraps. We've got to keep the suspense. The violence has to have a reason. So,
but in what ways does the show go beyond saying it's a crime drug dealer action drama sort of thing?
That's a good question. I think the producers this year, we picked up Gary Lennon for this season, who's very familiar with the Power series in general. And, I think it was really important to him and to the powers that be that we kind of tell a story about Chicago and talk about what's going on. Everyone seems to think that they know what's going on here. That dynamics of Tommy and, kind of the dust that he leaves behind him, those things are fun to exist in fairy tale land, but sometimes there are real life consequences. And I think that was something that we really tried to approach very sensitively, and understandably so, that a lot of these communities are dealing with a lot of different aspects of violence. And to be able to portray that in a very mature and sensitive way, that shows that we're all trying to make a better place here.
People hear the job description that you do, location management, immediately sounds like a dream job, and oh, how much fun that would be. You find cool places and shoot there. What
Yeah.
are the challenges that no one knows about? I mean, Little Village, how easy was it to find the location and get in there and shoot? What are your tasks besides going, hey, here's a good one?
Yeah, I mean, the most challenging thing is permission. Force definitely has a reputation of going to every location big and with it's big action, it's big stunts. And we had to really call in some favors with the city and the Chicago Film Office. And they supported us all along the way, really to do what we thought was, it's not your ordinary action thing that you would see on NBC. It's something that we collectively really, felt strongly about, that we want to see that action, and the audience was to see that action. And the most difficult part is really just living with the stress. We're biting our nails all along the way, just trying to get contracts signed, just so we can put this together for everyone.
When you approach someone who's the authority on a location, how often are they familiar with PowerBook, the universe, or specifically Force? And what kind of pitch do you give them to try and persuade them to give the permission?
Because it's centered in Chicago, and 50 Cent brought us into this world together through the Power series. It has a lot of positive response. I mean, everyone's always asking, who's dying in my house this time. But I think, ultimately, it's, we walk around with business cards with Tommy's Mustang on the front. And just a reminder that this is a part of this world, and we're excited to share it with everyone.
What is most enjoyable for you and most challenging about doing scenes underneath the L tracks?
Well, we have great support from the CTA. There's a gentleman by the name of Bill Riley, who's our main point of contact. And honestly, the biggest challenge is safety. Safety first. There's a lot of things under these L tracks that won't fictionally kill you; they will actually kill you. And to be able to do that safely and with proper protocols and safety restraints in order, and to have the CTA watching us, keeping an eye on us. It's sometimes film crews can be really just like a little herd of cats, and they keep us in line, especially for that day. And because we all, ultimately at the end of the day, it's the objective of every film set that everyone goes home, everyone sees their family, and that's really the hardest part.
Do you have a personal bucket list of locations that you'd like to see appear, in a series or in a film? And if so, how many of them are you going to satisfy in season 2 of PowerBook 4?
Yeah, absolutely. We went as big as we could go this season. There was no stone left unturned. But it's like the bucket list. Maybe the bucket list would probably be filming in the Lincoln Park Zoo or the Shed Aquarium, or the Museum of Art. So those are the big bucket lists. We really want to showcase how great it is to be here in Chicago, and just the great views and the vantage points from just about anywhere in the city.
Excellent. So what you're saying is that Tommy is going to start dealing drugs next to the panda cage in Lincoln Park.
Yeah,
Zoo?
next to the panda cage, and then the dolphins will come around, and they've got lasers. And no, I'm joking. But no, it's it's one of those things where it's a never-ending list here in Chicago. I think it's something that even in the series itself, Tommy had to explore. He went from being in New York, such a huge city, an international city, to going to Chicago, and everyone thinks that Chicago is small potatoes. But for people that live here, that it never ends here. The neighborhoods go on forever.
Kind of makes you feel proud that we could have this show, filming here. And it's everyone from Chicago. It's a great show. And you still get into this mode where you kind of pause something to go, hey, wait, there's a street sign. I want to know where that is. Try and guess the location. Hopefully you can get it before having to pause and read the street sign. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's our favorite Twitter game, actually. Yeah, it's seeing who's annoyed by what street that we said and where it was and all of that jazz. It's very fun.
Yeah, like I said, this show goes far beyond just being, a story about a guy who wants to be a drug kingpin. But at its heart, That's what it is. And there's a lot of details.
Absolutely.
So season 2 premieres on Stars September 1st. And this is Dan Patton for Screen Magazine, sitting down with Ben Miner, the location manager for PowerBook 4 Force. Thanks for tuning in. Ben, thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan.